to you guys.
If he gets in the desert.
Hey, Bolt 22, I copy y'all. He's leaving and then no traffic, actively firing.
Alright, dude, he just pulled off. He's making a U-turn. Left orbit.
He's exiting at main, but he's using the on-ramp to exit and go the wrong way.
Watch these deputies. Hey, deputies, he's coming right at you on the exit.
Hey, you guys, he's going to lose control here as he goes up that embankment. Do we have units on Bear Valley?
He's stalling out. Alright, dude, get the 140, dude.
Everybody's on the right floor.
Dude. Let me know when I'm clear to open door.
Savannah Graziano, a 15-year-old who was abducted by her father in September of 2022, was aimed at by law enforcement and later had her life taken, even as she followed a deputy's instructions to walk towards them on the side of a California highway. The video obtained through a California Public Records Act request by an independent journalist contradicts statements made by the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department in the aftermath of the incident that Savannah had fired shots at deputies before her passing. Savannah was fatally aimed at on Highway 15 in San Bernardino County, city in Hespera, nearly 24 hours after the California Highway Patrol had issued an Amber Alert about her abduction. Authorities found her mother, Tracy Martinez, deceased in the streets near her Fontana home, and the girl was missing. Her father, Anthony Graziano, was described as the main suspect behind the disappearance of life of the mother and the abduction of his daughter. Authorities have stated that he also fired at another person and a child at a nearby school around the same time. Later on, police tried to provide medical aid to the girl, but she was gravely wounded and later passed from her injuries at the hospital. Savannah, who was aimed at by deputies who had a different view of the truck, according to the Sheriff's Department. The department did not provide the names of the deputies involved in the incident, but they stated that they were at a distance and on a higher elevation than where the truck ultimately stopped. Those deputies who aimed at her because they saw a person get out of the truck and walk towards the nearest deputy, unaware he was calling to her. Savannah's uncle, CJ Wyatt, stated that the teen was living with her father in the truck while he was separating from his estranged wife. The uncle also called the father abusive and manipulative and blamed him for Savannah's deceasement. At the time of the incident, San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Discus stated it appeared that the girl ran towards deputies during the incident and that she was wearing, quote, tactical gear. But in aerial footage, Savannah is seen cautiously approaching deputies shortly after her life was taken. My condolences to the family and the friends of young Savannah. This is a life that should not have been taken at all. The only reason that the life was taken was due to two reasons. One, the father, and number two, the carelessness of the San Bernardino cops that were involved. I had to pretty much cut the video at the start of when everything was going to happen. You know, it's a shame. And, you know, things like this, I've seen this far too many times. Things like this should not happen. This is why people always state that, oh, we need more, regulations. We need more training. We need more people to take responsibility and accountability when it deals with incidences such as this. Again, watching the video, and I watched Savannah get directly out of the truck. She followed the officer's directions. She was coming directly towards the officer that was calling to her. And even while that was taking place, several officers that were there continuously decided that they wanted to keep firing. Enough time where they could literally unload the weapon. And the most interesting thing is that when the truck got to a point where it fully backed up in sort of a low-level area, on the roadway, you had one officer deciding to fire a shot, and that shot never even hit the vehicle. It literally went past the vehicle and hit a median, and there's traffic on on the roadway. So literally the shots that these officers were firing because they have some starship, trooper, Star Wars type of aim, they could have literally injured somebody else. Other people's lives could have been in danger. Realistically, if there is to be a lawsuit, I feel as though that the people who were on the road at that time, who were near that area, could potentially add on to that lawsuit. Because at no point in time should you be able, as a cop, to fire a weapon and you don't even know how to properly aim. Like, the guy literally missed his first shot. I could have potentially maybe left that in there, but I decided not to. But again, it's crazy. In certain angles, you can actually see some of the shots hitting the ground or the areas around the vehicle. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you see a clear-cut vehicle, you're aiming straight forward, and then your bullets go towards the moon? Like, what's going on here? Like, what is really going on? And I've told people before that you have a lot of these cops out here who like to just unload their weapons with little to no effort. As soon as they get a moment in time where it looks like things are ramping up and something really wild is going to happen, they're like, oh yeah, let me go to the back of the truck and pull out this weapon that I just got, and I just added this scope, just to sit up there and show off, just so that they can go back and get a little bit of food and start talking in conversations about, how they were aiming and how they were doing this, and they, saw this, and they, like I said, this is what these cops do. They don't realistically actually care about the human life that is directly out here, because, as I've told to people before, the main thing about the cops is that they're for the elites directly out there. They're for the government. They're for the businesses, and they're not for the actual people of which pay for these cops to be in their cities to, quote unquote, keep the law and the order. Again, that's not what they're for. They're for everybody else but you. And the loss of life that you are, in a sense, able to hear about, little Savannah, that should, in a sense, prove all that needs to be proven. And if it doesn't, I'm just going to state, like I've always stated before, that things like this are going to continuously happen. And sooner or later, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect your community. But the moment in time that you decide at that point that you want to start speaking, it's already too late. So if you actually realistically care, you might want to start speaking now rather than later.